What is up, fellas? Madden NFL 08. It is the Dolphins franchise 14-4 with that fresh win against the Jacksonville Jaguars, going up against the Denver Broncos this time. Both teams on a win streak. Well, multiple game win streak. We're not just talking about, obviously, they won the last fucking game. They're in the playoffs. That's how it happened. Conference championship. We got the Denver Broncos visiting Miami. Pretty even across the board. Just got a point ahead in overall rating. But again, off of a huge win. Not that it was like, playoff win's a playoff win. But beat the living crap out of the Jacksonville Jaguars, Eli Manning and company. Huge game by Willis McGahee, especially on two big plays, one on the ground and one through the air, and what was pretty much just a check down, and he did the rest of the work. This team, going into this game, this team's, number one defense in all of football against another solid defense in this Broncos team. Broncos win the toss. They elect to receive, to get the ball first in this game here in the first half. Kevin Jones at running back, and then I believe it's, Jake Delhomme at quarterback. So we're sitting pretty against a guy like Jake Delhomme in the playoffs. I'll guarantee you that. You need a Carolina Panthers defense with Julius Peppers and Dan Morgan and company in order to do shit. But I digress. It is 3rd and 8 for this Broncos team. It should have been picked off by Williams. I mean, the secondary is pretty solid, especially the two cornerbacks, but should have been picked off. Rex Grossman and company now should have been picked off right there. So we want to talk about two quarterbacks that have been carried by defenses, leading them into the postseason and leading to Super Bowl appearances. That'd be Jake Delhomme and Rex Grossman. But hey, we're in control of Rex Grossman, so we get a better player. We get more so the Rex Grossman in NCAA football 2004, like the best quarterback in all of college football, Rex Grossman. And speaking of sick plays, got Dante Hall on the nice little catch. But so far, pretty much a slow start. 3rd and 4 later on, and it's a nice outside linebacker blitz on that one. It's going to lead to a punt. Denver Broncos here with Kevin Jones. Big run. It could have been had he kicked it outside. But even if it had ended up in the end zone, would have been coming back. Holding penalty on Mr. Tight End, Mr. Wiggins, who spent most of his times with Klein Heiser with the Minnesota Vikings around this time. Nice catch by Wiggins, though. Funny enough, gets 2nd and 19, but makes it up with a nice catch. Nearly a first down. Then Chris Chambers with the first down grab. 1st and 10. Immediate next play. Huge opportunity for this Miami Dolphins team. And I just fuck it up and I just dive, get lucky. And hey, you know what? Miami got lucky, but at the same time, 10 yards back. Going to be another holding penalty for this offensive line. They're going to have their hands full with Haynesworth and Pat Williams, including Mark Anderson and Alex Brown, which is funny. That's the two defensive ends at the time for a Chicago Bears defense that, let me just remind you again, carried a Rex Grossman throughout the playoffs just to lose to the Indianapolis Colts. But still, speaking of good defense, probably great defense considering how good these guys are. Williams, nice tackle on that one after 5 yards. And then a play action. Looking for an interception, gets batted down though, but the first points of the game, field goal is good from 30 yards, 3-0 now. Willis McGahee on the outside, wonderful truck stick. It's going to lead to probably an extra yard or two on that one. Not quite a first down, but a first down play later on to Sidney Rice, the Pro Bowler. Sidney Rice playing with pretty much a Rex Grossman, who's been sort of a gunslinger this season, a decent amount of yardage. But speaking of, it's Rex Grossman. It should be a holding penalty on Mr. Harris, the blocking backup tight end. But it's going to be rightfully declined. Denver starting this game off pretty solid. I mean, their defense has done a really good job, even when they've been bending pretty hard by allowing us on the other side of the field. And right here, false start by the left tackle for the Denver Broncos. But pretty much end up creating opportunities for this team on the offensive end. Just kind of like the Carolina Panthers, just going to keep on making those jokes. But Wiggins, nice catch right here. So, linebacker we're dealing with, we got Antonio Pierce, obviously a ginormous beast on this defense. Ayo Deli as well. Should have made the catch on that one, but it's all good. Defense been still playing pretty solid, even though this offense hasn't done much of anything. Still about halfway through this quarter, second quarter. Mostly through the first half. No points by a team that already put up a ton of points, but 2 straight checkdowns to Mr. Finn. Mr. Finn's going to get another first down again for the Miami offense. And then looking at Sidney Rice, it should be Bobby Wade, though, on a huge, huge pass. And Bobby Wade, wonderful catch. And again, in this opportunity, just go ahead and run no huddle. I don't care about saving the clock or anything. I just want to prevent any chance that this ball gets taken back, gets another look at it, and that's just not going to happen whenever you run the no huddle. And then a huge play to Bobby Wade. It's going to lead to a touchdown. We saw the huge route like this last game against the Jacksonville Jaguars in what was already a route. A route added on to a route. But this time, no holding penalty whatsoever. And it's going to lead to the first lead for your Miami Dolphins. It's going to be another touchdown pass and then unfortunately another sack. Holding penalty, however, you might as well just keep the loss of down and the sack for this Denver defense. And almost a sack again. Tons of pressure against Rex Grossman to start this game. But hey, still up by 4 points in what hasn't seemed to be the most smooth of transitions into the second half. But hey, whatever. 7-3 still. Should have been picked off. I'm just kidding. It was picked off, fellas. But right there, he should have held on to the ball. Just fucking fall. I mean, I don't give a shit, Layman. You're not even, like, you're the worst linebacker we have on this Miami team. You get the interception. You've already made your play of the year. Just fucking, come on, man. Just go ahead. Go ahead and just fall on the ground. You just immediately gave them a fresh set of downs. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. Speaking of bullshit, Sidney Rice just, the man's got the size. It hits him with the bullshit offensive pass interference, mind you. But hey, 6'4". I'm pretty sure 6'4". But again, man, if that play would have connected, Willis McGahee, I should have set my feet on that pass. It is what it is, though. But Sidney Rice just doesn't have the top end speed of what you see with the size of Julio Jones and guys like that. But still, though, speaking of speed, great speed at tight end. But it's just even better speed for that secondary. I don't know if this is Champ Bailey who caught him right there, but Champ Bailey's definitely on this defense. And then a wide open Wilkes. He drops it, though, but I should have thrown it to him earlier. Maybe that would have rewarded us with a better catch rating. And again, 2 drop passes in a row. More so an excuse on the second one for Dallas Clark. Still going to lead to points on the board. Up by 7 at this point. An offense that has just not been capitalizing all too much. 9 of 17. 195 yards and a touchdown. Still getting a great amount of yardage through the air. But just no consistency whatsoever. Willis McGahee, though, speaking of consistency, nice run on the outside. 2 consecutive runs going to lead to about 15, 16 yards total between the two of them. Nice first down. And then Bobby Wade continuing what has already been a solid day on 2 or 3 catches. Then Dallas Clark down the field. Beautiful catch. It's going to lead to a touchdown. Denver, we saw how it was with Jake Delhomme. I've been talking shit. Another reminder, Jake Delhomme doesn't do shit on the playoffs. And speaking of, I mean, when Rex Grossman's got 240 on you in the first half, 2 touchdown passes, it was one, or what? This is now the second half, but still. It's just nice little move by Mr. Dallas Clark. Huge leaping ability on that play, at least. I don't think in general that Dallas Clark could jump that high against dudes. But hey, it is what it is. 17-3. They should have capitalized with our offense just moving slow. Then here we go. Pass out. Harris. 3 guys could have caught that, but 2 of them were the linebackers out into like a prevent defense. But a huge sack going to lead to more possession, but only to lead to more sacks on Rex Grossman, as this offense, again, just kind of been lackluster. Even if we're up by 14, let's just say if this team ends up winning this game, it's going to lead to the Super Bowl. But who are we going to go up against? Who are we going to possibly have to keep up with? Because just right now, it's just not doing much, even though Chris Chambers having a pretty solid game under the radar, considering how bad the offense has been and how shaky. But here we go, looking for another opportunity. It's Sidney Rice, one-on-one. What's going to happen? Nope, nothing. Just the connection just wasn't there for Rex Grossman and Sidney Rice. Willis McGahee, though, on the outside on the halfback slant. No successful highlight truck stick on that one. But hey, it is what it is. I'll take it. And speaking of taking it, Dallas Clark marching down the field in what should be over 100 yards at this point. It should be over 100 yards. But Mills McGahee in the flat should buy about 4 or 5 yards. But now this offense has done a ton of yardage. And then right here, dangerous pass to Sidney Rice. Drops it though. Hey, you know what? That's just luck to get away with that one and not be intercepted. Thank God we have an absolute behemoth at middle linebacker, that is. Nice interception by Antonio Pierce. And his defense continues to rock it. Nice little move right here by Willis McGahee. Again, I get lucky on this one. Over 200 yards outgained from these two offenses. Now it's starting to show. 3 touchdowns on the day. The first one vultured right here by Sammy Morris against Willis McGahee, who's put up most of the yardage for the backfield in this Miami team, who is no longer injury prone, which makes it, I mean, a lot of times I've been reluctant to ever get Willis McGahee on a team just because the injury proneness. The dude's a stud, but still. But holding on this penalty, drop pass, I mean, just 3-24. This offense is just being absolute dog shit. That's more than one holding penalty now for Mr. Lair. And this defense continues to dominate. Just 160 yards total for this Denver Broncos team. Then Nate Burleson gets some nice yardage. We saw it the touchdown last game. Nice little out route that led to a catch and more. And then a pass out to Sidney Rice. Going to throw it short. And there's going to be holding on the play. Mr. Reuben Brown, the left guard, gets caught. Holding a little bit extra on that one. It's going to lead to a 2nd and 12, I believe. But Dallas Clark, no need to fear. Dallas Clark is here. Nice first down catch right there. Going to continue on his day. Maybe it is official. No, it is officially over 300 yards. 320, 18 completions, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions by Rex Grossman. Make that now 21 completions. And make that a sick stiff arm later on in the game. Pretty much wrapped at this point. Going to look for another first down. Yes, it is Sammy Morris. And then later on, after the 2-minute warning, it's going to be a pass out to Dallas Clark. But no, just leave it to another sack. Rex Grossman. Maybe we put in Aaron Rodgers. But at this point, yeah, just Aaron Rodgers. Especially Aaron Rodgers before he blew up. He was basically a ticking time bomb. He's one of those first-round picks that they set that up to where if the first-round pick just doesn't do it, he's an underperformer. And then he just goes to shit. And then he becomes a huge bust. So, it's what you're going to get if you don't utilize those players well enough. That's just unfortunately the case. In the unfortunate case for the Denver Broncos, they thought Jake Delhomme was competent enough for them to run their offense and make it to the Super Bowl. That's not true. How good could it have been, number 29, had your team had a better quarterback, had drafted a better quarterback, had picked up a better quarterback in free agency? What could have been? But 3-27, outscored by 24 points. Miami's going wild. It's starting to feel like 1972 again. This defense is looking stellar. This offense is keeping it up, still maintaining a great amount of yardage. Just needing to limit the fumbles, limit the interceptions ultimately. But we're going to take a look at who wins between this Buccaneers team and the Dallas Cowboys. And it's going to be the Cowboys. Cowboys and the Dolphins in the Super Bowl 28-24. This is the Vince Young and Reggie Bush team. So you can imagine what kind of star power they have on this offensive side. Again, what are we going to be able to do against this team? They have Vince Young, the fastest quarterback besides Mike Vick. I think so, yeah. Second fastest. Possibly the fastest running back in Reggie Bush. They beat a Peyton Manning Buccaneers team right here. So we talk about Tom Brady in real life, who I'd have to say gets saved by his great defenses. Cough, cough. But Peyton Manning this time with old David Boston. End up losing in the conference finals, I guess conference championships. But a 15-4 Dolphins team going up against a 14-4 Cowboys team. Again, we're looking at a team in which the AFC is going to be way more